His jacket was still warm when they found it on the chair, folded neatly, like he'd just taken it off. His phone sat face down on the table, glass half full beside it. Car keys in his pocket. He told the group he needed some air, stepped outside at 11:02 p.m. The building had one exit. Security camera confirmed he walked out at 11:04 p.m. After that, he stopped existing. No car, no witness, no argument, no distress. 1 hour later, no one could find him. The case was filed, then quietly closed. But one detail investigators couldn't explain was this. The stranger who'd been invited last minute left the apartment 6 minutes after Marcus did, and no one saw them leave together. I am Rafe Quinn. In 2022, I was asked to review a missing person case from a mid-size American city. A man named Marcus Hale had disappeared from an apartment building on a Friday night in October of 2019. He'd been attending a small gathering, 6 people total. At 11 p.m., he stepped outside for air. Never came back. Police investigated, found no evidence of foul play, no signs of distress, no motive. Case went cold within months. But when I examined the file, I found behavioral patterns that didn't fit a voluntary disappearance, and a timeline that suggested Marcus didn't leave alone. Marcus Hale was 34 when he disappeared. Logistics coordinator, worked for a mid-sized shipping company. Lived alone in Denton Heights. Quiet neighborhood, multi-unit apartment buildings. Friends described him as reliable, consistent, not the type to vanish without explanation. On Friday, the 11th of October, 2019, Marcus attended a small gathering at a co-worker's apartment. Apartment 4B, 3rd floor. Building had one main entrance, one exit. 6 people total that night. 2 co-workers from his office. An old friend from college, his girlfriend of 8 months, and a stranger, someone invited last minute by one of the co-workers. The evening started around 8 p.m., casual gathering. Drinks, conversation. Nothing unusual. Marcus arrived at 8:15 p.m., brought wine, greeted everyone. Seemed relaxed. The stranger had arrived earlier, around 7:45 p.m. Nobody knew them well. Just someone a co-worker had met recently. Thought they'd fit in, polite, quiet, didn't talk much, mostly listened. Around 11 p.m. Marcus stood up, said he needed some air. Felt a little warm. Nobody thought anything of it. He did that sometimes. Stepped outside. Cleared his head. He left his jacket folded on the chair. Phone on the table. Glass half full. Said he'd be back in a few minutes. On-in person asked if he wanted company. Marcus said no, just needed a quick walk. He walked out the apartment door at 11:02 p.m. Building security camera captured him exiting the main entrance at 11:04 p.m. He turned left, walked down the sidewalk. Disappeared from frame. That was the last confirmed sighting of Marcus Hale. At first, nobody panicked. 10 minutes passed. Someone joked that Marcus got distracted. 20 minutes. His girlfriend checked her phone. No messages. 30 minutes. She called him. Straight to voicemail. 40 minutes. 2 people went downstairs to look for him. Checked the street, the parking lot, around the building. Nothing. His car was still parked where he'd left it. Locked, untouched. By midnight, his girlfriend was worried. Called him again. Nothing. One of the co-workers suggested maybe he went to a store or ran into someone. But Marcus's phone was still on the table. He couldn't call anyone, and he'd left his jacket. It was October, cold night. By 12:30 a.m. they called police. Officers arrived around 1 a.m. Took statements from everyone in the apartment. All 5 confirmed the same timeline. Marcus left around 11 p.m. Said he needed air. Never came back. Police checked the building. Hallways, stairwells, roof access, basement, nothing. They reviewed security footage. Building had cameras at the main entrance. Side door was locked from inside. Emergency exit was alarmed, hadn't been triggered. Footage showed Marcus exiting at 11:04 p.m., walking left down the sidewalk. No footage showed him returning. Police asked if Marcus had seemed upset, distressed, arguing with anyone. Everyone said no. He'd seemed normal, relaxed, maybe a little tired, but fine. They asked about the stranger. Who were they? The co-worker who'd invited them said they'd met a few weeks ago through a mutual friend. Seemed nice. Thought it would be good to include them. Police asked for the stranger's contact information. The co-worker provided a phone number, a first name, nothing else. Police tried calling the number. No answer. Left messages. No response. They ran the name. Found multiple matches. No way to confirm which one. The co-worker said they'd connected on social media. But when police asked to see the profile, it was gone, deleted, or deactivated. The co-worker said that was strange. It had been active just days ago. Detectives interviewed each person, asked them to walk through the entire evening. Every detail. Most accounts matched. Arrival times, conversations, when Marcus left, but one small contradiction emerged. Marcus's girlfriend said the stranger had been sitting near the door, close to where Marcus left his jacket. When detectives asked the stranger directly, they said they'd moved around during the night, talked to different people, couldn't remember exactly where they'd been sitting when Marcus left. It was a small detail, maybe meaningless, but it stuck in the investigative file. Police searched Marcus's apartment, looking for anything that might explain why he'd leave. Everything was normal. Rent paid, bills current, no packed bags, no signs of planning a departure. They checked his bank accounts, no unusual activity. Last transaction was 2 days before he disappeared. Gas station, $12. They pulled his phone records. Last outgoing call was 3 days before he vanished, to a number that wasn't saved in his contacts. Detectives traced it. Prepaid phone. Purchased with cash. Activated 2 weeks earlier. Used sporadically. No voicemails. No texts. The number went dead the day after Marcus disappeared. Marcus's girlfriend told police something that troubled her. She said Marcus had been distracted the past few weeks. Distant. She'd asked if something was wrong. He said no. Just work stress, but she felt like he was hiding something. Not in a bad way, just preoccupied. She also said Marcus had mentioned feeling like someone was watching him twice in the week before he disappeared. He'd commented on it, said he'd seen the same car parked near his building, different times, same vehicle. She'd asked if he was sure. He said maybe he was being paranoid. She'd forgotten about it until he disappeared. Detectives also discovered something else. Marcus had a pattern of briefly disappearing over the past few months. Not vanishing, just stepping away, going quiet for a few hours. His girlfriend confirmed it, said sometimes he'd say he was running errands and be gone longer than expected. She'd ask where he went. He'd say he just drove around, needed to think. She didn't push, figured everyone needed space sometimes. But investigators wondered, was Marcus meeting someone, dealing with something he hadn't told anyone about? They checked traffic cameras, pulled his location data from his car's GPS, found he'd driven to a specific area multiple times over 2 months. Industrial district, quiet, not near his home or work. Detectives went there, asked around. No one recognized Marcus's photo. No businesses remembered seeing him. Just an empty pattern, leading nowhere. On a month after Marcus disappeared, detectives re-interviewed the stranger, asked them to walk through the night again. Every detail, the stranger's account was consistent with what they'd said before. Arrived at 7:45 p.m. Talked to a few people. Quiet evening. Nothing unusual. Detectives asked what time they left the apartment. The stranger paused, thought about it, said around 11:30 p.m., maybe closer to 11:45 p.m. They remembered saying goodbye to a few people, thanking the host. Then heading out, detectives pulled up the security footage, showed it to the stranger. The footage showed someone matching their description, leaving the building at 11:10 p.m. 6 minutes after Marcus walked out, the stranger stared at the screen. Said that couldn't be right. Said they definitely stayed longer than that. Remembered the conversations. The time passing. Detectives asked if they were certain. The stranger said yes, absolutely. They didn't leave at 11:10. But the timestamp on the footage was clear. 11:10 p.m. And the person in the frame was wearing the same clothing the stranger had described wearing that night. Detectives asked why their memory didn't match the footage. The stranger said they'd been drinking. Time felt blurry. Maybe they misremembered, but the discrepancy remained in the file. Unexplained. Detectives also found something else in the footage. The building's camera system had a blind spot. Between the main entrance camera and the street camera, there was a 90-second gap, a section of sidewalk not covered by either angle. If someone walked out the main door and turned left, they'd be visible for a few seconds, then disappear from view for 90 seconds, then reappear on the street camera. Marcus had turned left, visible at 11:04 p.m., then gone. A stranger had also turned left, visible at 11:10 p.m., then gone. Both walked in the same direction, 6 minutes apart, and neither reappeared on the street camera after that 90-second window, which meant they either walked out of camera range before reaching the next angle, or something happened during those 90 seconds. Police expanded their search, checked nearby businesses, traffic cameras, ATMs, anything with a view of that street. Found one camera, convenience store 2 blocks away. Footage showed Marcus walking past at 11:06 p.m., alone, hands in pockets, normal pace. He continued down the street. Either they went a different direction, or they never made it that far. Detectives couldn't confirm which. 3 months after Marcus disappeared, his phone pinged a cell tower, also 40 miles outside the city. Rural area, farmland and back roads. The ping lasted 3 seconds. Then nothing. Police searched the area, found nothing. No belongings, no trace. The signal never appeared again. Detectives brought the stranger in for formal questioning, asked why they'd left 6 minutes after Marcus. The stranger said they didn't know Marcus had left, hadn't noticed. Said they left when they felt like leaving. Coincidence. Detectives asked why they deactivated their social media profile days after Marcus disappeared. The stranger said they'd been planning to delete it anyway. Wanted a break from social media. Timing was unrelated. Detectives asked if they'd ever met Marcus before that night. The stranger said no, first time. But one of the other guests mentioned something later, said they'd seen the stranger and Marcus talking quietly in the kitchen earlier in the evening. Before Marcus left, the stranger hadn't mentioned that conversation. When detectives asked about it, the stranger said they didn't remember. Maybe exchanged a few words. Nothing significant. 6 months after Marcus disappeared, the case was officially classified as inactive. No evidence of foul play, no body, no witnesses, no motive. The stranger was never charged, never named as a suspect. Just someone who happened to leave the same building 6 minutes after Marcus, in the same direction during a 90-second blind spot. Investigators noted it in the file, but couldn't prove anything. The stranger moved cities 6 days after Marcus vanished. Different state, new job, fresh start. Police had no grounds to stop them. I spoke to Marcus's girlfriend years later. She said she'd never believed Marcus just walked away, left everything behind. Said he wasn't that kind of person. She said the hardest part was not knowing not having answers. She said she still thought about that night, about the stranger sitting near the door, about Marcus saying he needed air, about how everything seemed so normal until it wasn't. I reviewed the case file extensively. The evidence doesn't prove Marcus was harmed, but it doesn't support voluntary disappearance either. The timeline is too precise, the phone ping too remote, the blind spot too convenient, and the stranger's behavior after that night suggests someone who wanted distance from the case, deactivated social media, moved cities, changed phone numbers. People do that for many reasons, but the timing stands out. Marcus Hale has been missing since the 11th of October, 2019. His case remains open. Technically, but no active investigation, no new leads. Just a file, some footage, and a 90-second window where two people walked into a blind spot. Only one pattern ever emerged. What I keep thinking about is this. Marcus left his jacket on the chair, his phone on the table, his glass half full. He said he'd be back in a few minutes. People who plan to disappear don't leave their cars behind. Don't leave their cars. Don't leave their lives intact, but people who are told they'll only be gone for a moment might, especially if someone convinces them to step outside, just for a second, just to talk. And if that someone knows exactly where the cameras can't see, the conversation only needs to last 90 seconds. The stranger left 6 minutes after Marcus walked in the same direction, into the same blind spot. Their timeline didn't match the footage. Their memory contradicted the evidence, and within a week, they were gone. New city, new life, no trace. Marcus's phone pinged once, 40 miles away, in the middle of nowhere, then went silent forever. No arrests were made, no charges filed. The case sits in a file cabinet, marked inactive, but the pattern is there. Two people walked into a 90-second blind spot on a Friday night. Only one walked out. This is Midnight Ledger, where some disappearances happen, not because someone ran away, but because someone knew exactly when the cameras weren't watching. And by the time anyone thought to ask the right questions, the only person who could answer them had already left town.